Have you ever wondered why some players seem to improve every season while others sort of like stay stuck in the same place? The secret isn't really talent, but it's small, consistent habits that the really good players build and they do consistently. So today we're going to talk about how you can unlock your potential by mastering the power of habits. Hey, it's Markins. Welcome back, everyone, and it's my pleasure to see you all again and open up the discussion about habits. They definitely make who we become, and I definitely want to make sure that we have a little bit of a focus on that subject altogether. So in soccer, in life, it's not usually the big things, the dramatic moments that create lasting success. Okay, it's usually the small, consistent actions, those daily habits that build your foundation, that eventually build your growth, where at any given time, given the stage that you're performing on or the platform that you're growing on, it'll create those moments of amazing or memorable times. All right, so the common challenge for a lot of kids, it's like, okay, they look around and they see great players, and what they're not remembering is most of those players didn't become great overnight or that day. They didn't wake up that day and suddenly master all the skills that they're displaying at the given time. Instead, they built it, with their ability through small, very intentional action, but repeated over a very consistent and long period of time. And that's what we're talking about today. It's the power of habits. It's not really always about what you get that day. It's what being someone who has great habits, what it helps you become. So what are habits and why do they matter? Well, a habit, again, it's small action that you consistently repeat it, and you repeat it until it becomes second nature. So, for example, in soccer, it's showing up every practice and putting the extra time to work on your touch. Simply working, lacing up those boots and saying, "Oh man, today I want to give it 100% for this particular aspect of my game." Maybe it's your first touch, for example, and the first touch is about really you're going to soften that foot, pull it back a little bit, and touch the ball so that it is slightly away from pressure, right? So if the pressure's on your right hand side, maybe you touch the ball slightly to the left, but only about a yard, so that the next time you touch it, you can make a decision whether you're going to dribble or you're going to pass and split a couple of defenders, whatever the case may be. So, why does that matter? Well, they matter because if you consistently build and work on those small aspects of your game, right, that first touch, they compound over time. Imagine practicing that stuff every time you get out there and you play a small-sided or possession game. Well, you do that for an entire season, all of a sudden you become a new player simply because you're focusing on certain aspect of your game. And whatever you pay attention to, you put your effort and your attention to, grows. Okay, so at first it may not feel like much. I'm telling you right now, what's the big deal? I'm working on my first. So at first it may not feel like much, but then after several sessions, your accuracy and then the sharpness of that first touch and the confidence that you start to build skyrockets. So it becomes exponential. It leaps, it jumps onto itself. So that's really where the real power of habits lie. Okay, it all starts with a small thing, paying a small attention to what seemingly is a small detail. But over time, you become this player who now focuses on things and actually accomplishes it. You're suddenly building character way beyond the field. All right, so that's part of it. Now, building small, actionable habits. Well, big changes. If you just look at them, right, and you say, "Oh my goodness, I can't ever seem to control the ball properly. I'm always losing it. Well, you're talking about a result. And it's almost as if to say you're looking at things so big it may seem overwhelming. But if you break it down to small pieces, they become manageable and attainable. So if you say, okay, I know, I just got to clean my first touch and soften that. And then just touch the ball so that's no more than a yard away from me. And you spend 5-10 minutes on doing things that can improve that, right? Sometimes it's knocking the ball against the wall and getting control over it as it rebounds. Other times it would be juggling the ball for so many touches per day, right? And you practice that one skill over and over. And after a number of weeks, your muscle memory is going to build to the point where it'll do it automatically. You won't even have to think about it anymore. So set small goals and work on small aspects of your game. Can you imagine if you kept working on very specific skills, throughout an entire year? You'd become a totally different player altogether, technically speaking. All right. So the key is to be consistent. It's not about doing it all at once. It's not about, showing up all of a sudden. You're transforming into this new player. No, it's small steps added up over and over time, and they lead to that transformation. And eventually you get there. I remember coaching high school one time, and there was a player who was really lightning fast. He was young. He was a sophomore. This is varsity, and when he took off with the ball, he can literally kick the ball 30 yards. If you're even, you've lost. You kick it 30 yards ahead of him, even though there's another player who may be like 8 yards close to that ball. He's getting there before he does. That player does. But the problem is we trained on attacking the end line and cutting the ball back. And he would try cutting the ball back and he would just kick it straight out of bounds, like out of bounds, right? So after that season, we did talk about that. And I told him, listen, if you just went home and juggled so many times a day, and then if you just went home and you attacked the end line and hit the ball towards the penalty spot from the end line, 10 times a day from both sides throughout an entire summer, and you took that ball and you banged it against the wall over and over again, and then you did so many dribbles a day, you would transform into a new player. So he did do that over the summer. His parents used to text me and tell, oh my God, you convinced him to do all this. But anyway, long story short, when he came back the following year, he was very dangerous on the wing, and he's definitely the leading assist leader by far. I think if he had 14 assists, the next person had 6 or something like that. But it took first the focus, the recognition of where we can improve, but secondly, really the focus on that very specific aspect of the game. So what I would say to you is get started, whatever that skill is. Choose one that aligns with your goals or what you would like to improve upon, right? Start small, make it so that you can stick with it, right? So if you wanted to really work on your juggling, see if you can get 7 in a row consistently with both feet, left, right, left, right, left, right. So, try to challenge yourself, see if you can get to 10, right? And just stick to that and do it for so many days. Let's say you did it for 21 days straight, all right? And then start evaluating your results. You would be changed into a new player by default. By accident, you'd become a much better player, right? So track those progress and celebrate the small wins, and that's what I would recommend you do, and really have fun with the whole thing. So remember, greatness is built over the foundation of habits. It's not about the big moments, but the small, consistent steps you take every single day. So your challenge here today is to pick one habit, and whatever it may be, stick with it for at least 21 days and see where it leads you. Okay, so comment below, let me know what your habit is. That'll be kind of fun to read those comments. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe channel here in our videos as well. And the next episode in our series, will be the episode 2, where we'll talk about choosing discipline over instant gratification. Until then, keep building those habits, and I'll see you soon.